Hello everybody, this is Blue Cube Vacuums here. Today, as you can see from this box, I have a Lindhaus HF6. This is a vacuum that I've wanted for quite a while. You've actually seen this, if you viewed this channel for long enough, you actually saw that I did have one at one point, but that was a significantly older model that was from like 1998. And ever since I've had that one, I since sold that one, but ever since I had it, I kind of wanted a new one because I think they're such cool machines that I wanted to experience one new. And the one that I had it was a good machine. It was a little bit tired though. Some things were kind of wearing out on it, and it was just probably more money to fix those things than it was really worth. So ever since then, I've wanted a new machine. As you can see here, there you have HF6 on the side. If you don't know, Lindhaus is a kind of commercial vacuum company. They're sort of in the residential, sort of commercial, but they're certainly, well established in the commercial environment. They're Italian made, very, very, very solid, incredibly high quality. Somewhat lesser known in the vacuum community as opposed to like Miele or Sibo, but certainly right up there in terms of quality, right beside them. This box was just delivered. This is a brand new HF6, as I said earlier, and we are going to crack it open today and just see an overview on it. This is not the one with the power nozzle. This is a straight suction unit, and the reasoning of that is because I don't love the Lindhaus power nozzle. I think it's really good for commercial purposes. You can take the brush roll out really easy. It's very serviceable. They last an incredibly long time. If anybody with one will certainly tell you. However, I don't think for residential purposes, like what I'm going to be using this one here, this is probably going to be my new daily vacuum cleaner. I don't think the power nozzle is super well versed for that sort of stuff. Just because there's things like there's no swivel on it, which I certainly like on power nozzles. I really like them to swivel. It makes it so much easier to use. There's no squeegee for bare floors at all. I mean, they still certainly work on bare floors, but the squeegee kind of, it's significantly better with the squeegee. And you can see, pickup tests and things like that where it's any kind of a power nozzle with a squeegee will certainly outperform one without one. And you can even see that on other commercial, kind of semi-commercial units like the Sibo ET1 or ET2. I just prefer Wesselwerk power nozzles for that reason. So because I got this one with the straight suction unit, I'm just going to be slapping a Wesselwerk power nozzle onto this vacuum. It's pretty easy to do. Thankfully, the older units, which I actually had at one point, the older units were 34 millimeters, so it was kind of a pain to attach anything onto that. And that was actually one of my big kind of complaints with those units is you can't really find anything that's 34 millimeters aside from, I don't know, like a handful of tools that go on some commercial vacuums. But yeah, they thankfully moved to 32 millimeters. I think that's just because they have a bunch of central vacuum stuff that they could also use those kind of tools with, so it makes it a little bit more streamlined here. But yeah, as I said earlier, we're just going to crack them in this box here. I did cut it just for purposes of you don't have to watch me cut this box open, but I didn't peek inside at all. I've never really seen what these look like in the box like this, so this will certainly be a new experience for me. Let's get right into this here. And you can see here, this is the HF6, and then here's the one with the power nozzle as well. That's not the one that I have. I have this guy up here. Not the EcoForce, though. Or maybe it is the EcoForce. I honestly have no idea. They make these in a ton of different configurations. They're somewhat modular, honestly. I don't exactly know what I have here. All I know is it's the standard HF6 with just this straight suction, as you can kind of see there. So that is your manual, I believe, for that. It's a very nice manual, actually. The paper's really thick. Gives you full part schematics and everything. I have worked on these before, actually. They're fairly easy to take apart and disassemble. Not so much as like a Miele. A Miele is a little bit easier, but kind of on par with like a Sibo or something. There's the schematics for the power nozzle. Sure, is that it? Or is there anything else here? I think I skipped a few pages. Safety and warnings and stuff. Okay, there we go. So you have everything there regarding the how to put this all together and everything. You can see actually right there, that's one of the Lindhaus's lesser known features, at least the HF6's lesser known features, is you can use it as a blower. And I'll demonstrate that later in the video here. Very cool. Let's put that on the floor there. This is the HF6 bag. I'm actually glad it came with bags because I wasn't sure if I had any more of these. As you can see, it's quite large. I think it's like double or maybe, I don't know, 2.5 times the size of like a Sibo D4 bag, which is already a huge bag. So this is like rivaling, I don't know, upright bags. It's almost like the size, like a Kirby bag is very similar to this. It's relatively thick. It's about the thickness of like, I don't know, a HEPA flow from like a Henry or something. This is something I've never seen before, actually. I've never seen these with gaskets before. Maybe that's something they recently started doing. And you can see this fold down tab thing that seals the dirt in there. Here we have the hard floor nozzle. This is absolutely one of my favorite nozzles in the vacuum industry, honestly. I think they designed these really, really well. The reason for that is you can actually see there's a squeegee. I'll take this out of the package later. There's a squeegee and a brush behind where the suction inlet is, which is, some other companies like to put the brushes up front, which all I think that does is just push dirt around. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The wheels are really, really nice on this. Yeah, this is by far one of my favorite. What does this do? Is that just a suction bleed? I gotta figure out what that is. I've never seen that before, actually. But yeah, this is by far one of my favorite hard floor nozzles in the vacuum industry. Here are the caster wheels. It comes with these disassembled. I guess it makes it a little bit shorter. They just push in like an office chair or something. Pretty easy. Let's take the top cardboard off here. Oh boy, there it is. Okay, let's see what we got here, actually. There is the wand. I'll see what that looks like in just a second. I'll put that over there for right now. I would imagine it's just going to be a pretty basic wand. It's all metal, though, which I like. Interesting, the cord does not come wound around the unit. This unit doesn't have any kind of a cord reel. No HF6 does, but usually there's a little, like, slot for the cord to just essentially wrap around the unit. I guess we can pull this guy out here. Very cool. Let's put that aside for a second while we get the hose out here. One thing to mention about the hose, if you buy this with the power nozzle, it will come with two hoses. It'll come with an electrified hose and this hose right here, which is just the standard straight suction hose with no electrical connection. I don't know why they do that, but it's actually really handy if you're using, let's say, one for a blower. You never have to get the other one dirty. You can hang it out in the garage. I don't know. You can do whatever you want with it, really. Keep one downstairs if you have hard floor down there. It's actually a very nice hose. It's not tapered like a SIBO, but regardless, it's quite nice. Put that all over there right now. Let's get everything out of the package and assembled, and then we'll see what we have here. So you're now looking at everything that comes in the box with an HF6 straight suction. If you get it with the power nozzle, obviously you'll have that and an additional hose for it, the electrified hose. Maybe an extra wand too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, of course you will, because you need the electrified wand. Speaking of the wand, this is actually, I was looking at this, this is like one of the highest quality wands I've ever seen. Pulling it out of here, I can't do it with my hand, my one hand free. But there's literally no play in it at all, which I've never seen before. Even on really high quality vacuums like Miele's and SIBO's. Taking a look at the actual unit itself here, you can see I put the wheels on, they snap in really easily. The controls up here, you can see you just have your simple on and off switch. This light here is a full bag check indicator. There used to be a speed control right about here, and they took that off on, I don't know when that exactly happened on these units. The HF6 has been around for a long time, and that's how you can usually identify an old one to a new one, is if they have that speed control on there. I'm just noticing some of the things that they've changed on here, obviously because of the other one that I had. One of the things is these used to be removable. You could take these little panels off, and these are now like gull wing doors basically that just lift up like that. You can see under this one, that's your filter there. This one, standard, they just come with a little micron filter basically. It's just a little, thing of, it's like one of the Miele filters essentially. The Miele pre-motor filters rather. Put that back in there like so. Though you can get a HEPA filter for this. I think this will be pretty fine for most folks. I don't think they're going to have any kind of a problem with this filtrate. I may not be able to get this in here. You know what? We'll do that later. I'll put that there for right now. Actually, speaking of, there's the blower port rather. You can see that's where you would put your hose in. Kind of a weird feature for a modern vacuum cleaner. I can't really think of a whole lot, at least in the modern ones, that have a blower port, other than like a Fairfax or something, maybe a Rainbow, I don't know. So that's what is there. Another thing, actually a lesser known feature, you can get a carbon filter for these, by the way. You have to search around for them a little bit, but they're active carbon, rather nice to have actually. On the other one here, and this is one of my favorite features about the HF6, is all of your tools are just right here, which is something kind of rare for tub vacs. Usually they just make you go put them in the closet or something. You can see you got your upholstery tool with a snap-in brush. You can take that out if you need to do that. You have your dusting brush. I guess that's natural horsehair or something. It's very nice. It's very quality. Put that over there. And then behind here we have a crevice tool. This is like a medium-sized crevice tool. It's kind of a shame because they used to have one that telescoped out of here. That was on the older ones, and I don't think they do that anymore. And then there used to be a little like kind of keyboard brush here that used to go there. That was also really nice to have, and unfortunately they don't put that in here anymore. I'm not entirely sure why. Something I find kind of funny though is this little piece here that all the tools are sitting on. The old ones didn't have this, and I bet you if you take this piece off, there are 34 millimeter like fittings coming out of here. They just put this on so that the 32 millimeter tools fit in here properly, which I find very, very funny. So they haven't changed a whole lot here. They're just kind of stacking stuff over top of it. One of the other cool features here, I will pop it open in just a second, and I actually did pop it open earlier. This is an extra bag. They do put one in the unit, which is very nice. This is another really cool thing about the HF6 is you have this flap here. That's where the hose goes, but you have a flap that covers it when you're not using the hose off, which is really, really nice. And I wish something that more canisters did, because when you're changing the bag or whatever, dust is going to blow out the top unless you have, like, I don't know, Milo puts like the garage door thing over top of it. I'm trying to think of like another one that does something similar. I know Kerstar has that like screw-on thing, which is kind of cool. But it's just a simple, you know, that's all you really need on there. But then something else kind of cool, this is how you secure the hose down on there. So when you put the hose on, and I can kind of demonstrate that here. I wonder if I can do it with one hand. Yeah, you basically put the hose on like that, and then you just secure it down with this latch. It's not, there you are, like that. Pretty simple system there. But something else that's, there we go, it's kind of cool is if you're just running this without the hose and you need to keep this flap open, say it's like an air purifier or something, because the filtration with the HEPA filter is very, very good. There's little tabs on there that keep this from closing all the way. So you can just keep it open like that. It's really simple engineering, but it's like, it's really nice. It's something they thought of. You can see what I was talking about earlier with the cord here. It just wraps around this basically. So you would, I have it on the ground, but you would just wind it around this. It's kind of a neat little solution. Popping this thing open here, I'll show you what the pre-motor filter looks like. There you can see actually the electrical connections if you were to have the electric power head. You can see it says right there, max 150 watts. And as well, you can see there is a bag that they put in there for you already, which is very nice. Something else interesting, I noticed this on my old one. If you ever need to replace these, it's really easy. They just slide down. So they knew, this being a commercial machine, that's probably one of the things that breaks over time. They knew it would be really easy to replace it. Under here, you see the pre-motor filter. It's very simple. It's just a disc. The old ones didn't look like this. The old ones looked like a check valve on like a shop vac or something. It was this big thing that extended down. But this one, they just, see if I can do this with one hand. Yeah, there we go. Just a little foam filter. It's not going to really capture any particulate, but if that bag ever blows up, this is certainly a nice thing to have. Definitely keep those in there. And it just goes over like that. See, everything indexes here. This slots in like so it can only go in here one way. Let's see if I can do it here with one hand. This is a struggle. Yeah, there we go. And then these, just like every other tub vac, clamp down like so. One other thing to mention while I have it here, around back, and this is kind of a weird feature, you can pop this thing out, and that holds your wand in there for you. So if you ever needed to keep your wand, this would probably be a bit more useful for the ones with power nozzles. So then you can just keep a straight suction wand on there, and you can keep your floor tool on there as well. Speaking of this floor tool, now that I have it out of the packaging here, you can see what I was talking about. You got this nice kind of adjustable row of brushes. It's already picked up dog hair actually off my carpet. This row of brushes, and then you have a squeegee here, and then everything that's all behind where the suction inlet is, so it pushes it towards it. You'd think that's really simple, but I don't know, a lot of vacuum companies can't seem to figure that out. It's kind of annoying. But you do have these really, really nice rubber wheels. I've showed this before in my Aria video. I don't like the Aria, but I love the floor tool that it has on it, which is basically just this one. This is like a longer version of that one actually, but it's still very, very nice. you have the hose here. This would, I mean, if you're using the one with the power nozzle, which I keep bringing that one up because I imagine most people buying this vacuum are going to be buying the one with the power nozzle, that configuration. That one's a little bit different. It'll have the gas pump style handle, and then there's a little suction relief valve, basically where your middle finger is. This one just has it on top like every other kind of machine. A swivel on it, of course, so everything should be good there. You have your cord here. It's about 40 feet or so, I believe. Maybe 40, maybe a little bit longer actually. But you'll have no problem using this in a commercial environment where you need to kind of space out everything. So there is that for you. I say we go and plug this in and power it on. So it is all plugged in and ready to go. I have the hose on here. You can see the plug is all the way over there, and there's still a pretty considerable amount of cord with it. So it's something really, really nice and handy that you'll probably notice using this thing, is you rarely have to stop and change the outlet that you're using with it. So yeah, let's turn it on and see what it sounds like. So that is the Lindhaus HF6. I'm certainly going to be doing some more videos on this, especially in the future when I get the power nozzle for it. I'm thinking like a Wesselwerk EBK 360. I already have the wand for it. I just need to get the hose and the actual power nozzle itself. So it should be pretty simple just to mod one on there. And I think that'll make this vacuum a whole lot better. At least from what the original stock power nozzle was that I used quite a while ago. But yeah, hopefully this has informed you on the Lindhaus HF6. If you like this vacuum and you like this vacuum content, don't hesitate to leave a like or subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day.